So 1917 is directed by Sam Mendes, who also directed Skyfall, part of the 007 series, as well as in one of my favorite military movies, Jarhead, which came out in 2005. And if you haven't seen it, is definitely go watch it. It's definitely worth the watch. So yeah, 1917 is a World War I movie, and it follows these two British soldiers, Will Scofield, who is played by George McCaw, as well as Tom Black, who is played by Dean Charles Chapman. And these two British soldiers are given the task of going behind enemy lines and trying to reach this advancing British regiment of roughly 1,600 soldiers who are currently trying to attack this regiment of retreating Germans. And effectively, in actuality, the retreating Germans aren't really retreating. They're pretty much setting up a trap for this British regiment. And if the British regiment does choose to attack them, it would be like a bloodbath and a mass slaughter. So it's up to these two British soldiers to reach that advancing British regiment in time to tell them to call off the attack, not to attack the Germans. And because of that premise, this movie becomes a race against time, and that's really where the suspense plays into it. And the soundtrack really amplifies that suspense in certain points in the film. And in addition to that, the cinematography in the film is also amazing. I'm talking about sweeping shots of no man's land, of the battlefield, where you have tanks on fire, dead horses, fallen soldiers from gunfire, and it really captures the darkness of World War I. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is when Will is running across no man's land as British waves are attacking Germans, and it's just him running in the vastness of no man's land again, of the battlefield, with explosions going on all around him, soldiers are falling, and it's a very gripping and exciting scene. And to go off of that as well, another scene that I thought was really good was when Will was linking up with a convoy of British soldiers, and while he's inside the truck, as a convoy is going from point A to point B, there's British soldiers as well as Indian soldiers, and the Indian soldiers and British soldiers are joking around, mimicking each other's accents. And at one point, one of the Indian soldiers says, "Well, why do I care? This isn't even my country." And I thought that was amazing, because for a lot of these Indian soldiers who were forced to fight on the behalf of the British in World War I, many of them had never seen Europe before, or they just didn't know why they were fighting. And I think I applaud Sam Mendes for really highlighting that fact, because I feel like a lot of war movies about this time period really focus on the European soldiers, and they don't really highlight the fact that a lot of those who were fighting for Europe, for France or Britain, came from their colonies. A lot of the manpower came from their colonies. So I really applaud Sam Mendes for really highlighting that. And Sam Mendes also took a really big risk in this film with this very specific plot event, which is eye-opening. When it happened, I was like, there's no way that this really just happened. But yeah, it did. And I think the reward was definitely worth the risk. You don't really see movies taking risks like that that frequently. So again, I really applaud Sam Mendes for taking such a bold move in that plot event. And yeah, I think that's about it. That concludes my review for this film. If you like military movies, particularly like World War I, this is definitely the movie to go see. Or if you just like military movies in general, you're definitely going to like 1917. So given that concludes my review. Like, subscribe if you want to see more reviews for any other movies. And if you have seen 1917, let me know in the comment section below what you thought. Yeah, and thanks for watching.